This morning we will have our activity, the debate. But before that, we shall have some review of the lesson. Understanding the gene has led to remarkable development of methods of changing a cell's DNA. Huh? So, mga changes, remarkable development because of the study of gene. You have already studied the gene from your previous years, and you are worth to know the deeper meaning or the deeper benefits or application of the study of gene. And genetic engineering, everybody read?
Genetic engineering or biotechnology, also called genetic modification, is the direct manipulation of an organism. The goal is that one or more living organisms is genetically modified crops.
Okay, so the science that make or produce a new organism is called genetic engineering by altering the DNA of the organism. So, this time I will call the debaters to come here in front.
This house believes that genetically modified crops is not safe for eating. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Marcellana Campos, the moderator, welcomes you to this debate. The importance to conduct this debate mainly because of the conflicting research on the benefits and dangers of genetically modified crops. It is wise to evaluate the pros and cons of these food products and option for a safe way out, even if it means abstaining from their consumption. And students also will be able to know and have the right to know and can make the most educated decisions possible to eat or not to eat genetically modified crops. We have two contenders from the affirmative side and negative side. From the affirmative side, we have Rachel Rosamagang, Chanel May Maghanoy, and Ben James Paotor. And from the negative side, we'll have Martin Grancerino, Alea Joy Zamorano, and Ben Espanugan. And of course, our teacher, Ma'am Helen Marcellana, Mr. Bonito Taclo Brother, our head teacher in Science Department, and Ma'am Janet Arabes, our master teacher in Science, Ma'am Glenn Bertuzazo, our science teacher, Ma'am Amy Juan, our math teacher, and our record or timekeepers are Christine Lico and Jemarie Cela Serino. For the time rules, first and second speakers, opening statements, 2 minutes. Third and fourth speakers, arguments, 2 minutes. Rebuttal and questioning, 5 minutes. Fifth and sixth speakers, closing arguments, 2 minutes. To start, we will now hear our first speaker for her affirmative opening statement, Ms. Rachel Rosamagang.
Good morning, everyone, and to our respective teachers. I would like to light my views supporting the topic on genetical modified crops is not safe for consumption. Genetic engineering creates a dangerous side effects. By mixing the genes from total unrelated species, genetic engineering unleashes a host of unpredictable side effects. Moreover, irrespective types of genes that are inserted, the very process of creating a gene plant can result a massive collateral damage that produces new toxins, allergens, carcinogens, and nutritional deficiencies. Numerous health problems were increased after GMOs were introduced in 1996. The percentage of 3 or more chronic illness jumped from 7% to 13% in just 9 years. food allergies and disorders such as autism, reproductive disorders, digestive problems, and others are on rise. Although there isn't a sufficient research or confirmation that GMO are a contributing factor, doctors will tell us not to wait before us start protecting ourselves and our children especially that are most at risk. So, we should avoid buying GMO food.
Let's give her a warm of applause. Thank you, Rachel. This time, we'll hear from our second speaker on his negative opening statement, Mr. Martin Gran Serino.
Good morning to all our students, to all our teachers. ALORAN High School, good morning. I'm here and would like to support the statement that the genetically modified crops is safe for consumption. In the developed world, there is a clear evidence that the genetically modified crops has resulted in many significant benefits. This includes higher crop yields, reduced farm cost, increased farm profit, and improvement in the health and environment. Now, research is focused on GM crops that will feature increased nutritional and or industrial arts. These crops will have more direct benefits to consumers and will end world hunger due to shortage of food production. Yes, shortage of food production. Look at Philippines right now. Philippines is facing one of the most brain-attacking and tummy-aching problem, which is lack and shortage of food production. Look what happened to Kidabawan City. They suffered from severe hunger because they don't have rice and food to eat. So I can say that the GM crops is one of the most fitted and it is an essential way to resolve these kind of problems. Why? And why can you say that this is not safe? We know that there are lots of federal governments and food industry in the Philippines. For example, one of the departments in the Philippines, Department of Health. I know the Department of Health ensures the safety of the citizens living in the Philippines. So I can say that genetically modified crops is always safe for consumption. That would be all. Thank you.
And now, our third speaker on our affirmative argument, Ms. Chanel Magano.
Hello, greetings to our respective teachers, and to you, my fellow students, good morning. I am here in front of you to prove that GMO is unhealthy and not safe for consumption. While applications of genetic engineering are numerous, its limitations are its potential effects on our personal health as well as our environment. The American Academy of Environment Medicine cited animal studies showing organ damage, gastrointestinal and immune system disorders, accelerated aging, and infertility. Human studies show how genetically modified GM food can leave material behind inside us, possibly causing long-term reproductive problems. Genes inserted into GM sow, for example, can transfer into the DNA of bacteria living inside us, and the toxic insecticide produced by GM corn was found in the blood of pregnant women and their unborn fetuses. Numerous health problems increased after GMO were introduced in 1996. I know food is an emotional topic and it matters a great deal to us. And since GM food crops are unhealthy and not safe for consumption, GMO should be banned in the market.
Thank you, Ms. Chanel. Our fourth speaker on her negative argument, Ms. Alea Joy Samoran.
Good morning to our teachers, to our head teachers and master teacher in science, Mr. Jacklom and Mrs. Arbes. Good morning, everyone. Well, in countries where there is often not enough food to go around and where food prices directly affects the incomes of majority of the population, the significant benefits of GM cannot be ignored. There are major GM crops currently available on the international market. For years, food containing genetically modified organisms have lined the shelves of grocery stores. They are deemed perfectly safe for the consumption by the federal government and the food industry. None of these products out there have shown evidence over the 15 plus years they've been on the market of human health concerns. Smith, who is corn breeding specialist, says genetically modified foods are safe. They have been evaluated quite carefully for food safety. So, there's nothing to worry about in terms of food safety.
Thank you, Miss Alea. Okay, Martin Grancerino.
Mr. Moderator, may I have the floor, please?
Okay, Martin Grancerino, you have now the floor.
Just a motion of inquiry, Mr. Moderator. My following statements will be addressed to the positive side. I'd like to go back to the statement of the latter speaker. By mixing genes from totally unrelated species, genetic engineering unleashes a host of unpredictable side effects. So, what you mean is that scientists do not know what they're doing, and they just mix up a concoction of genes? Well, you're totally wrong. The whole process is very complex, and they are very careful for food safety. Not only that, it has to pass certain qualification and food safety test in order to make it in our shelves. If there was something wrong with it would they know. That would be all, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, thank you so much, Martin Grancerino.
Freedom of speech, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, you can now proceed with Ms. Rachel Rose Magang.
Yes, I agree with the latter speaker that scientists can choose which genes to manipulate. But they don't yet know where in the DNA to precisely insert these genes, and they have no way on controlling gene expression. Genes don't work in isolation. Changing a few could change the whole picture with unpredictable side effects. Scientists are not perfect scientists. They make mistakes that causes unpredictable results. And besides, a dedicated safety test of GM plants has been done. And why keep on buying if safety of this product is not assured? That will be all, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, Martin Grancerino, you can now have the floor.
Freedom of speech, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, you may now proceed.
My following statement will be addressed to the latter speaker, which is Rachel Rose Umaga. I disagree on her statement. Numerous health problems increased after GMOs were introduced in 1996. Because National Academy of Sciences have repeatedly found genetically modified foods safe, noting that after billions of meals served, no adverse health effects attributed to genetic engineering have been documented in the human population. None of these products are out there have shown evidence. Over the 15 plus years they've been on the market of human health concerns. Some people often have this weird misconception that because of food altered DNA, it will somehow alter theirs if they eat it. All of us eat, which means there is a high chance or have probably certainly eaten a GMO without knowing it and feel fine after. The reasons our people have health problems isn't because of our intake of GMOs, but it's our intake in fat, salt, and sugar. That would be all, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you again, Martin Grancerino.
Freedom of speech, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, then James, you can now proceed.
But Grant, doctor says we now have an epidemic of chronic non-curable diseases in the world. This includes diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease, among others. As a medical doctor with a keen interest in nutrition, it strikes me as quite a coincidence that this is occurring and escalating rapidly just a few decades after we began introducing and widely distributing genetically modified foods into the diet of the world's people. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, Alea.
I disagree with what the latter speaker said. That GM food can leave material behind inside us, possibly causing long-term produce problems. Because I believe that pesticides would affect our enzymes, or that we can wash off the pesticides from the plants, food that contain them.
Thank you, Miss Alea.
Freedom of speech, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, Chanel, you can now proceed.
Well, you see, Mr. Morano, when it comes to genetic modification, this is one thing that cannot be washed off because the insecticides are already inside the cell of the plants. That will be all, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, Miss Benes Panuga.
I totally disagree of what she said or what she said. Excuse me, but I believe that GMOs are safe. It is not because I think genetic rearrangement rather is bad, but I also agree with the statement not to wait before we start protecting ourselves, and especially our children who are most at risk. If people are not confident enough in genetically modified foods at this point, they simply should avoid them or purchase less of them. And this can be easily done by labeling GM food crops. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Benes Panuga.
May I have the floor, Mr. Moderator?
Okay, then James, you may now have the floor.
Good morning, everyone, especially to our teachers and fellow students. To avoid buying GM crops can be easily done by labeling GM food crops in the market so that I should know that it has been altered, changed, modified, chemicals added, or anything that is not natural. I have the right to know about the food items I purchase. Our government should be protecting us people. Actually, labeling is not enough to know what's in GM foods. If we are really concerned about this, we should go on an internet research to gain more knowledge on genetically modified crops. Thank you.
I have 4 guests.
Okay, Miss Benes Panuga.
Good morning to all of us. All that I can say is GMOs are the answer to world hunger and health. Crops are more productive and have a larger yield. It offers more nutritional value and better flavor. It is more capable of thriving in regions with poor soil or adverse climates, and foods are more resistant and stay ripe for longer, so they can be shipped long distances or kept on shop shelves for longer periods. GMO crops are an answer to feeding growing world populations. Corporations insist that genetically modified foods are safe. Changing a few genes here and there does not make a crop toxic or dangerous. So the question is, why shouldn't we alter nature to meet our needs? That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Benes Panuga. Thank you, debaters. We will end this debate by this statement. The number of countries growing genetically modified crops has increased in recent years, causing much debate over the safety of these products. So, supporters claim it will feed the world rather and promote better health and ecological welfare, while others believe that food contains risk to human health. Whoever is making the purchase, I hope after hearing this debate can decide or question if it affects them and their lifestyle or not. If you want to know more what's in the food you eat and if you are really concerned about this, we should go on an internet research to gain more knowledge on genetically modified crops. Again, thank you and good morning to all of us.